colors so you don't have to DIY that yourself. They're starting fights like I gotta go. I don't know where I ended with that last clip because the geese were going crazy. Today, we're talking about the Axol Studio X Kbdfans Yeti, and I know. We gotta address the Yeti in the room and that the aesthetic, the physical appearance of it. It's pretty striking, right? It is a very rounded edge board. It does have the standard LS layout, but it doesn't have a standard LS PCB. It's a USB-C daughter board, gasket mounted. It has half plate options, and rather than sounding deep, it sounds pretty clacky. To be honest with you right now, from the aluminum half plate build with the Lavenders I did in this board, I actually like it more than the Rukia and the Tengu. Fine boards, but I like the sound and feel of this more, but you gotta keep in mind, my preference is half plate and plateless. Take that with a grain of salt, but let's get into it so you can learn about this board. So this board right here, the one I'm just caressing in my thighs, it has a lot of the features of modern keyboards. So the USB-C daughter board, which separates the USB-C port from the PCB itself, allowing it to flex independently without messing up your port. It also has gasket mount, which it is in season right now. It's popular. People like the gasket mount. People like the PCB foam. People like the case foam. I know it may anger some people that have been around longer. The crowd likes what they like. And if you're curious about the half plate builds I did on my channel, which is a plate not typically offered with group buys, this board has half plate options as well. This is actually a really cool board because the gasket mount, like I said, is clacky. Gasket mount boards typically have a deeper sound profile. They have that like creamy sound, right? Like the Polaris, the Vega, the Mode 80. I have to be honest, when I first saw this board, I didn't think much of it. I was like, is it just gonna sound like other gasket mount boards in a polycarbonate case instead of aluminum? When I built it with Lavenders on the aluminum half, I was in shock. I did a typing test and I hit an all-time PR. I mean, it wasn't accurate, but I was flying. And in my ear holes, I was like, hey, it sounds good too. What is going on here? Like, the sound is leaps and above what you expect out of a board that looks like this. High-end endgame must be clean, minimal, small bezels. You can have your cake having a cute keyboard and eat it too and have great sound. Because honestly, it's a surprise to me. So don't judge a book by its cover, you know? So let's listen to this sound that I am so hyped about. Isn't this board plastic? All right, yes, it is plastic. It is a plastic board, but it is CNC plastic. It's a thicker plastic. It's a heavier plastic. It's a denser plastic. So polycarbonate cases, I know they're plastic. I know some people think plastic boards are cheap and keyboards shouldn't be plastic, but polycarbonate cases, they look different. So right here we have the pink color, right? We have pink, we have purple and blue in the GD. And just recently, we're adding frosted white as well. Frosted white is gonna match with most keycap sets. So if you wanna go with the colors, be a little more fun, go with the colors. If you want to match more keycap sets, go with the frosted white. Or you can go aluminum. You can get your black and white aluminum. So if you hate plastic, you can still get a keyboard with a Yeti on it. All right, some people are gonna ask me like, Andy, what PCB should I pick? Unfortunately, I did talk about the polycarbonate, right? So the PCBs in the group, unfortunately, there's no underglow. The solder PCB does not have per key RGB or underglow RGB. The hot swap PCB has per key RGB. What that means is you'll get light come from the switches and it'll light up a bit and it'll spill to the edge of the case. But in terms of having underglow RGB.
So last minute change, there is underglow and per key RGB with the hot swap PCB. The solder PCB still does not have any RGB. So the hot swap PCB with all the colors, it's a little bit more enticing now to use with a PC case.
Because of that, you gotta think about, do I really want polycarbonate if I'm not gonna have the RGB pot? If that's you, maybe consider going the aluminum route, get a little bit more heft out of your board, have a different sound signature, and maybe you'll be happy with that route. Also, side note, I'm not gonna tell you to spend more money, but matching wrist rest, baby. Kind of nice, has the curves and everything. And since this board is designed around the gasket mount and it has the half plate option, that's gonna have a lot of flex.
Look at that flex, holy shit.
When you have flex and you don't have a USB-C daughter board, which separates the PCB from the USB, when you flex down, your USB port is gonna get flexed and like stressed and it may damage it and pop it off. Oh, Andy, what is a half plate? So a half plate is when there's a plate, right? This is the frame of an Alice plate. The middle doesn't have plate material. So the plate material only goes around the modifiers and the numero in this case. And on the alphas, you're gonna have no plate. So you solder that directly into the PCB, directly in. That switch right there, you're tapping into the PCB. If you like that sound, go with that. I really love plateless sound. I really love half plate sound. Maybe you like different sounds. Fine. Then you can run a full aluminum plate, you can run a full polycarbonate plate. But like with anything, like you can get bored of gasket mount, you can get bored of plateless sound and half plate sound as well. Andy, how much does it cost? It doesn't actually cost that much. $400 in my opinion is very fair. Actually more than fair. Because this board is bigger than a TKL. It's just heftier. It's thick and it has the brass weight. Typically more material, brass weight, curves especially, the harder to manufacture, costs more. In 2021, started in 2020, material costs have shot up. We had a shortage of lumber, concrete, aluminum, now a shortage in plastic. There's a shortage of everything. And because of that, group buy costs have gone up. Because of that, price of $400 is pretty fair. Of course, if you want to add plates, you want to add the wrist rest, you want to add this, you want to add that, yeah, it may not be $400 anymore. This keyboard right here has a lot going for it. And this is being run by a tried and true vendor, Kbdfans. Sometimes they have a little bit of delays, but they don't miss. They run so many things, bro. They're veterans in the game. $400, this is a pretty sick deal. You don't gotta listen to me though. What do I know? I just buy a lot of keyboards for no reason. For research, all right? It's for research. That's what I tell my fiance. I definitely think it's worth a look. All right, I'm done sounding like a crazy person in this park. I'm gonna get out of here before the geese attack me. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for Kbdfans for sending this over for me to review. It's not a sponsored video. I just like sharing cool things. I like tech, dude. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you to all the channel members on YouTube as well as the Patreon patrons. Y'all help keep the dream alive. I'll see everyone in the next video. Peace.